Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient world. A sky with no airplanes, land with no science, night with no explanations. Then a massive creature appears. Wings stretching like clouds, a body covered in armor like scales. A breath that turns air into fire. You have never seen it before. And yet you recognize it instantly, the dragon. But the truth we will face today is simple and shocking at the same time. This creature that feels so clear in our imagination never existed in reality. No bones, no fossils, no biological trace, not a single verifiable piece of evidence. And yet, civilizations that never met each other believed in it. How is that possible? Today we will not say just a myth. Today we will dismantle the idea scientifically. With evidence, step by step. To reach a clear answer, we will move through 4 layers of evidence. First, the biological and physical impossibility of dragons. Second, the natural evidence ancient people misinterpreted as dragons. Third, why the dragon's form appears worldwide. Fourth, why the myth survived despite the absence of proof. At the end, we will reach one clear conclusion: the dragon was not a creature, but an inevitable result of how the ancient human mind understood the unknown. Fire is not a skill. It is a high-temperature chemical reaction. Producing flame requires fuel, oxygen, and ignition heat. Any biological organ that tried to contain such a reaction would be destroyed instantly. Living tissue coagulates, proteins break down, and cells die at temperatures far below open flame. No biological structure exists that can safely generate continuous fire inside a living body. There is no anatomical system capable of storing flammable chemicals and launching them as burning projectiles without destroying the organism. Some animals use hot chemical defenses, but nothing in the history of life has breathed fire. This is not a missing discovery. It is a boundary set by biochemistry itself. Flight is not just wings. It is a balance between mass, wing area, and lift. As mass increases, wing area must increase dramatically. But larger wings add more weight. And added weight demands even larger wings. A creature the size of a house, armored and heavily muscled, would require wings biologically impossible to build. Bones would need to be extremely light. But the legendary body is extremely heavy. Muscles would need immense strength, but strength adds mass. The system collapses before it can function. A flying dragon contradicts the principles of biomechanics. A creature that flies, maintains extreme heat, possesses a complex brain, and has a gigantic body, would require enormous daily energy. A predator of that scale would leave obvious ecological effects: missing prey populations, distinct hunting patterns, massive movement traces, biological remains. No such ecological record exists in science, when expected evidence would be large and obvious. Its complete absence becomes powerful evidence itself. Ancient humans did not invent dragons from nothing. They observed real things without scientific explanations. The ground sometimes revealed enormous bones, skulls with massive teeth, vertebrae longer than a human arm, skeletons unlike any living animal. Without the concept of extinction, without geology, the natural conclusion was simple: a giant creature once lived here. Imagination did not create the evidence. Misunderstood evidence created the story. When an ancient person saw a huge bone, heard a frightening tale, and encountered a large reptile, the mind connected everything into one coherent creature. That is how fossils became dragons. If dragons were pure imagination, why do they look similar worldwide? The answer lies in evolutionary psychology. Human ancestors lived alongside 3 major predator types that shaped survival: large reptiles on land or water, birds of prey from the sky, powerful mammalian predators. The human brain evolved to detect these threats instantly. Rapid fear response increased survival. Now observe the dragon's design: a reptilian body, ability to fly, predatory jaws, enormous size, aggressive presence. The dragon is a neurological fusion of ancient threats. More precisely, the dragon is the shape that triggers fear before conscious thought begins. That is why it appears in cultures that never interacted. The real natural world is more extreme than we often assume. Giant lizards reaching several meters, crocodiles capable of killing large animals, massive constrictor snakes, whales with enormous skeletons, strange deep-sea creatures washing ashore. When ancient humans encountered such animals under fear or darkness, perception exaggerated, memory expanded, stories added detail. The final creature was not fiction, but an amplified version of reality. If dragons existed, even if extinct, they would have left fossil layers, predation marks, skeletal remains, environmental impact. Large animals always leave a geological signature. Even creatures extinct for tens of millions of years left abundant evidence. Dragons left nothing. In scientific reasoning, positive evidence is required for confirmation, but the absence of all expected evidence becomes practical disproof. Ancient stories are proof. Stories record belief, not biological existence. Eyewitness accounts exist. Human perception is fallible, especially under fear and uncertainty. Maybe all traces disappeared. A creature of dragon scale cannot vanish from the geological record without a trace. Global similarity proves reality. Similarity reflects shared psychology, not shared existence. Dragons did not exist because biochemistry forbids fire breathing, biomechanics forbids flight at that scale, ecology forbids the required energy demands, geology records no evidence, yet the myth exists because humans found fossils without explanation. Nature presented enormous, frightening animals. The brain is wired to fear specific forms, and storytelling fills the unknown. The dragon is not a lost creature of history. It is a logical outcome of the human mind confronting mystery.